Right guys, let's have a look at what's in your EGD bag. We're going to do a little unboxing and have a look at what drawing equipment you're going to be using this year. First of all, you're going to be working on a drawing board. Right. Let's just zoom the camera out so you can see what's happening over there. Okay. Right, so. Okay, you can see I've got a full A2 drawing board over here. For the majority of this course, you're going to be working on A2 paper. You want to take your paper and slide it in. Right, the one side over here flicks up. You insert the paper over there. Right, you may get it straight later. We're just going to roughly put it in for now. There's some arrows at the bottom here that you can align your paper to. Make it as straight as possible. Click that one down. Lift up this guy over here. Slot in there. Often you need to move this one again just to get the paper as straight as you can. Okay, put it down. There you go. Okay, right, so we set to draw with our paper on our drawing board. We obviously need a ruler that's going to be moving up and down. I'm going to put it here in my bag. I've got a long ruler and a little red bracket on the right hand side. Every time I want to move the ruler up and down, I just move the bracket over here. Right, you'll see that it does move a little bit this direction due to leverage. So you want to try eliminate using the ruler at the far right hand side here. You want to rather move it to the position you want. You can use the set square from that point on. So then, moving on to your set squares, let's have a look. You should have two set squares in the board. You need 145, let's see, and 160. This is about 30. Okay, right, two set squares over there. You can see already that my set square has had the edge broken off there. These break quite easily, so you're going to have to be careful when you put it in your bag. This one's generally a bit weaker than these thicker Perspex ones. So you want to aim to get one as strong as possible because they don't last very long. As I said, when working with the ruler, you want to align your set square to the ruler here so that you can slide your set square along, because that's going to be a lot more accurate than every time having to move your ruler up and down. Else you can move it to the bottom, align your set square to 90 degrees, and then use your 45 to move up and down like that. So you can save a bit of time in terms of having to move that whole ruler up and down. Get used to doing that, putting your set squares on and sliding them at various angles to draw various lines that we need for our constructions. Okay, so there you got your whole drawing board. You know how to put the paper on, you know how the ruler moves up, you know what two set squares you need. Next, I'm going to move on to the compass. You should have a compass. Right, it's a much nicer looking one than you had at grade 9. Let's just zoom in a little bit. There. Okay, right. So, having a look at your compass there, I've got two in my set over here. I've got a divider and I've got a full compass. Dividers are kind of useful. You may want to have one if you don't. It's not essential. You can use a compass as a divider, but it's nice to have one if you really are looking just to measure a couple distances of some lines. Talking about the compass, okay, obviously it opens as a normal compass. It's got a little screw over here so you can fine adjust how open or closed you want your compass. Keep this point sharp as possible. We want to know that we're going to go into our board and the point's going to stay exactly where we put it. Lead pencil on the left hand side here. You should have a couple of replacements of leads inside your compass set. You can see I've got one extra lead here that I can use, that I can put inside my compass should I need to replace the lead if it gets too short. You want to keep your lead as sharp as possible. So you should have a nail file in your EGD set that you keep them all that you're going to need for the whole of the year, so that you can keep your compass as sharp as possible. You can see the thickness of this lead is a lot thicker than our 0.5 or 0.3 clutch pencil that we're going to be using. So it's going to make a much thicker line. Hence we need to keep it as sharp as possible. I want to see for every drawing taking your nail file and working at the side of it and wearing it down until it's a perfect 45, so you can keep it as sharp as possible before each drawing, and then you can put your compass into your paper and draw the correct circle from there. Okay, right. Compass dividers, as I said, useful from time to time, just to measure. You may be checking, is that 5 centimeters? Quick check, okay, it's good. What about that? Is it 12? Quick check, okay, it's good. So sometimes dividers can be useful, but not compulsory. You don't have to have them. Right. Just nice to have. Right, next, some things we are not going to use. French curves we don't need. You can use those at home. One or two other things. Flexible ruler. Sorry, I don't have a flexible ruler in the set. But flexible ruler, it's the ruler that bends all in different angles. We're not going to need that. You can leave that at home. Right. Let's put that to the side. Point here, right. Quickly we talk about leads. Let's get the pencil out. Okay. Right, when you're using your clutch pencil, okay, I have various clutch pencils in here. Let's just see. It seems like that's only one. 0.3, that's 0.5, putty eraser, erasing shield, 5 clutch pencil. Right, so let's just have a look at all these different guys over here. So, right, we generally want to work in 2 thicknesses. The first thickness we work in is our 0.5 lead. It's nice to have an HB 0.5 lead so that you can do your outlines in dark lead. So when we get to the end of the drawing, the last 10 minutes, we know we're sure about our construction lines. We darken our construction lines with 0.5 HB lead. How's it going? We've got a 0.5, as I said, for your dark outlines. It's important that these are the final leads that you use in your drawing. You won't start drawing with these are too dark to draw. I also have a 0.3 over here. This is a 0.3 HB, but it's nice to have a 0.3 and an H2, something hard that you can use to do your construction lines, your dimensions in. You want to start the drawing with these 0.3 H2 leads, and you'll start also with the 0.3 clutch pencil. You might want to have an assortment of clutch pencils in your bag. It might be nice to have one in an HB 0.5, 0.3 H2, so that you can do your constructions, your dimensionings, and your final dark lines when you finish your drawing. But you can build those up as you go through. For the moment, you can just work with one pencil and change the lead around when you need it. Okay, so once you've done our pencils, now please remember that we no longer draw on a pencil like this. The only thing we can use a pencil like this is for a rough sketch that we might be working on before we do our isometric or our first angle. We might be just thinking about something, drawing something roughly on some rough scrap paper. Then we can use a pencil like this. We never use a pencil like this to construct our final drawing. We will always use a clutch, a sharp clutch, 0.3, 0.5, depending on what we're doing. We will never use a pencil like that. One more tool over here is our erasing shield. Now this is a bit of a multi-purpose tool. Most of the time, it would be for rubbing out something within a certain area. We put our erasing shield over that specific mark so that we don't have to erase it any more than we need to get rid of the mark. With our putty eraser, we want to more push and suck rather than erase like a normal eraser. Our erasing shield will give us a certain area that we can mark off that we can erase it. It's also useful for drawing 1 or 2 shapes. As you find we get into civil, you may be able to use these larger ones for certain types of arrows. The little squares and little circles over here are also useful for electronic diagrams. But generally, we use it to erase up a certain area or a part that we're focusing on. Okay. Right, so that's generally going to get you started for EG. That's everything you need to know for now. Remember, we don't need our French curves we can leave at home. Our flexible ruler we can leave at home. Let's just get our pencils in there. Our lead, our shield, our putty eraser, right? Our 2 set squares, right? And our compass. Everything we need, grade 10, looking good, guys.